Good evening and welcome to In the End We Win with Curtis. Thanks for tuning in again. Today is February 5th, 2018, and happy Black History Month. I have a dynamite show in store for you. I've got a young lady in the studio who is going to assist us in getting things right, whether it's in business, whether it's in our health, whatever it is, she is equipped to assist us in getting things done and taken care of. So before we get into the conversation, let's hear a word from our sponsor, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hello?
Hey, girl.
Oh, what's wrong?
Girl, I just went to a major dealership and got ripped off on a luxury car. Ugh.
Well, I just got a great deal on a luxury car at Star Imports in Camp Springs, Maryland. They took their time with me, treated me with respect, and helped me find the perfect car.
Hey, DMV, looking for a unique car buying experience? Tired of high-pressure sales? Good news. At Star Imports, you'll be delighted with our boutique-style car buying experience. We're committed to treating you with the utmost respect, even if you have less than perfect credit. Check out our impressive selection of pre-owned BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, Jaguars, and other imports starting at $5,988. For fast online guaranteed credit approvals, go to starimports.com. That's STARRIMPORTS.com. Or call 301-423-8000. Star Imports, home of the boutique-style car buying experience. Located in Camp Springs, Maryland, off exit 7B off the Beltway, next to Red Lobster.
All righty. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you are tuned in to In the End We Win with Curtis. Today is February the 5th, 2018, and it's the first Monday of the month, Black History Month. So thanks a lot for tuning in once again. I encourage you guys to call in if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. You can call in at 240-719-2560. We have an interesting conversation that we're going to be indulging in tonight, and prayerfully it can assist you guys. I just need you to call in though to get your questions answered. So I've got a good friend of mine who I think we've known for over 20 years.
Yes.
Over 20 years. Mm-hmm. However, I didn't know that she was doing all that she's doing. So we're going to learn a lot about my good friend Datosha Mayo on tonight. She is considered the execution strategist. So to jump right into it, I'm going to ask, what exactly is the execution strategist?
The execution strategist is exactly what it says, execute. And so what I mean by that is that a lot of times we spend a lot of time in inspiration mode, but we never execute. And so I teach people how to execute in life and in business to get beyond the place of being inspired to execution, to no longer being stuck in good, because good is never good enough when better is always available.
Hey, you coming out the box like that? Wow. So something that I heard you say just now, good is never good enough. What constitutes good? Where is good, though? What exactly is good when we're talking about someone's business?
Mm-hmm. And so good is a place of just sailing through. And so initially it starts off great. It starts off brilliant. It's an amazing idea initially. And so there's some challenges there. There's some things where you have to work through. But then it gets to a point where you're just coasting. You're just relaxing your way through. It's now at the point of good. It went from being brilliant and went from being great to good. And so good is never good enough, because now you're in the settled stages. You're in the stages of relaxing. And when you find yourself in that relaxed stage, it's always time to go to next.
Okay. Where are you coming from right now? Before coming to the studio, where were you?
I was at my studio, my fitness studio. So I have a boutique.
You sound pumped right now. You are like energized. You're like on 1,000.
I am. It's such a passion. It is such a passion of mine. So yes,
that's wonderful. So in your travels, what have you come to learn is keeping people in that good state?
Yeah. And so it's familiar. It's the spirit of familiarity, right? Because people get to a place where they're just good. And it's a learned behavior.
Comfort.
Because comfort, exactly. And so when we grow up, we typically grow up in a household, get a good government job, and live happily ever after. Well, that's no longer good enough. That was good for back in their time, but now that's not good enough. That's not going to sustain us the rest of our lives because we're living long and strong. And so we have to incorporate those multiple streams, and having that great government job is good, but it's not good enough.
Multiple streams of
income. Yes.
What's a good number? How many
at least
streams?
7.
7.
At least 7.
I've read that years ago in a book, and I can't call the name of it, but that's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of things for people to be responsible for. Do you find that most people are equipped or have the capacity to oversee 7 streams of income, i.e. 7 jobs or passions?
Yeah. And so I do. I believe that we're all equipped. I believe that God has given all of us visions and dreams. And as a result of those visions and dreams, the different streams come through. And so it's not about jobs, right? It's about your gifts. And your gifts always make room for you. And so while you start off in one lane, the different streams will come from that lane in different areas. And so I'll use me for an example. It started out initially as health and wellness. And as a result of that, here's now the speaking stream. Here's now the workshop stream. Here's now the coaching streams. And so they're all connected. And so it's not so much a job, but rather a gift. And your gift always makes room for you.
Oh, wow. Now, I think when we met, though, you were in the real estate industry. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So how did you find, how did you know when, or have you left that? Let me ask you that. Is that still a stream of yours, or have you left real estate altogether? It's
not. It was my dream funder. And I retired.
Say that again.
It was my dream funder. Funder.
Okay,
yes.
So you used it.
I used it
to springboard you financially into your other endeavors.
Absolutely, yes. And so in December of last year, I retired from a job that I absolutely loved. A lot of times people want to find or want to go into business, become an entrepreneur because they hate their job. That wasn't my story. I absolutely loved my job. However, it wasn't waking me up at night, and I wasn't getting up in the morning thinking about it. My business, my dreams, my visions is what wakes me up in the middle of the night, is what gets me up in the morning, is what I get up without an alarm clock, because that's what drives me.
Wow. Is that something that everybody possesses?
I believe everybody possesses it, but I think they don't tap into it. And here's the reason why. They've learned not to. They've learned to be okay with good. And so because it has created this moderate lifestyle for them, they're okay with that. And so for me, I thought the same thing too. My goal was to reach 6 figures, right? And so when I reached 6 figures, I began to lay back until God said, there's more. There's more.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So is that then that separation of the 1%ers in this country and the other 99%, those that have figured it out?
Yes.
And know that it takes that next level of thinking and that next level of commitment and passion and drive to get to that 1%.
Right. Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's been a lot of the conversations over the last several years with the changing of administrations in the White House. And I just heard, actually, our pastor mentioned in a men's meeting that there are more, in 2017, there were more millionaires made in the United States than ever before. And with that being said, then that means that there is room for everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is room.
There's room for everybody.
Yes.
And you know, we're hearing like today the stock market had one of the worst plunges in history and so on, but people have tended to rely on the stock market to get them to a certain place. But you're saying that they need to rely on themselves. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm
saying they need to rely on God and then ultimately themselves. Yes.
Okay. So God is the one that's going to give them the passion,
the ability to get wealth.
Okay. Yep. And then they have to put the action to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's that faith and works. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah.
So through one of the things that you do, you will pull that out of people, or will you just help folks to help individuals to figure out where their passion is, or what exactly where do you actually come into play when it comes to someone who says, hey, I have a business idea, but I don't know what to do next?
Right. And so that's my Mastermind Accountability Intensive. And so it's for new and aspiring entrepreneurs that are not quite sure what that next step is, what to do, or people that are in business and just got to a place of stuck. They're at a plateau. They don't know what to do. And so my responsibility in that is to help them discover their next, to help them discover the dreams, the visions, everything. Because here's the thing. Everything that we need is already on the inside of us. We just need mentors, teachers to help see where we're going, because we're already in that place. We just need to see how to get there. And so I help people do that. And it's a 4-week intensive. And I say intensive because it's intense in 4 weeks.
I hear it. Listen, I hear it.
But at the end of the 4 weeks, their businesses, because oftentimes it's more than one, because again, it's connected, they're launched at the end of the 4th week. And they begin to develop, they begin to receive the streams of income.
Now, do you continue to
Yes.
mentor and stay with them?
Yes.
How long of a time period is that after, you said after the 4 weeks, then it's launched?
Right.
How long do you stay with them, quote unquote?
Right, and so I have a 12-month program, 16-month program. It just depends on the level of coaching that the client needs, because there's also another level of coaching for businesses once they've completed the mastermind. And so you've launched your business, now what? Because a lot of people will launch a business and then they'll just sit on it, no? Sure. So you've launched your business, now what? And so I help them take it from launching to now the next step of growing, the marketing, the branding, and all of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And do you travel with that, or is that something just here local in the PG County, D.C. metropolitan area?
So it's virtual. It's all online.
Oh,
so
really?
I have clients everywhere, yes.
Oh, wow.
So everything is done through teleconference, webinar, Zoom, and then the accountability is if they want accountability face-to-face, then they have a VIP day. And they typically fly in, drive in, whatever the case may be for a VIP day. And so you can do a half-day VIP or a full-day VIP.
Wow. So how long have you been doing that?
So I've been now doing that piece of the business for 2 years. And so that was developed as a result of my own team from the wellness side. And so I have an amazing team that has helped me in the wellness side, the fitness and the nutrition. And so for me, I began to get frustrated that I had all this brilliance around me helping me, but they weren't doing anything in their own individual lives. And so as a result of that, I sat them down and had a meeting and said, why are you not moving? You are brilliant in yourself. And for me, it's hypocritical for you to help me make this amazing brand and you do absolutely nothing for yourself.
Right.
And so they began to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know the next steps.
Oh, my goodness.
And so from there, I began
started.
to help them. And then it started and grew from there.
Oh, my goodness. It's just that easy.
Just like that.
Inside your own circle.
Inside your own circle.
There is opportunity.
Yes. Yes.
And I think a lot of people are missing the boat on that.
Yeah.
Because with the advent, there's nothing against, I don't have anything against multi-level marketing
Yes.
organizations. In fact, I had done a couple and was fairly successful. But I think that has spoiled us to believing that we are business owners.
Yes. Yes. And see, my thing with that, because I've had in the past, a lot of people coming to me and trying to sell me on it. And here's my question. This is typically where people fall back. Can you leave a legacy to your children through multi-level marketing? Because it's about legacy. It's about leveraging legacy for the generations to come behind. And so what happens to all of this, because I believe in the shortcuts to increase, I do. However, what are you leaving for the generations behind? Are you able to leave them anything? And oftentimes, from the people that has approached me, not.
Wow.
And so that's why personally, I don't get involved in the multi-level marketing, because the same energy, the same tenacity, I can put into my own.
That's right.
Because we all have gifts and callings that God has called us to, that somebody is waiting on our yes. So when are you going to stand up and be somebody's answer?
Wow. Wow. I hope you guys are getting this out there in viewer land. These are all of my winners, right? So In the End, We Win with Curtis is the name of this show, and I've got nothing but winners who are tuning in. And this is an opportunity. If you have any questions or comments about what you've heard thus far, please call in 240-719-2560. Datosha or Tasha.
Yeah,
or
Tasha
Coach
is fine.
will be here to
All
answer
of
your
those.
questions. We are taking your questions live online. Just do me a favor when you do call in. Please turn down your listening device or however you are viewing the show. Turn that down and pay attention to your phone. Now, for those of you who are on Facebook, you can also tune in, perhaps, if you choose to voxwave.com. VOXWAV, no E on wave.com. By the way, we are still sponsoring a coat drive that we are collecting coats up until the 25th of February. There are multiple shelters that we're going to be delivering coats to. So I encourage you guys to come past the studio, 4711 Off Place in Camp Springs, Maryland, right behind the Red Lobster, and drop off any gently used coats, brand new coats, whatever it is that you may have. It's all about giving back. So getting back to our conversation, and giving is a key word.
Yeah.
In what you're doing, is it about just income for you, or is your passion about people, or is it about creating this legacy for you and your boy, because you have two sons,
Yeah.
right? Is it about just creating the legacy and an income and environment safe for them, or is it about just helping individuals?
Yeah. And so it's a combination of all. And the first one is helping people transform their lives from the inside out, right?
Okay.
And so as a result of you transforming your life from the inside out, your legacy is going to automatically line up because we do what we're exposed to. And so as a result of me helping you transform from the inside out, you're already having legacy coming that's just going to line up with what you do. And so as a result of my passion and desire, the rest of it comes along with it. And so it just reminds me of the scripture that when God blesses you, he adds no sorrow.
That's right.
And so as a result of that, as a result of me going in a direction that God called me to, because as I mentioned, I loved my job. And so it was my vision to retire from that. But when God said, no, there's more, come this way, there's also added blessings on my household as a result of it.
Sure.
So it all works together for the greater good of everyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dang. that's that. I mean, you're hitting it home. You're knocking the leather off the ball, as they say. And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
In today's society, I think, once again, people are missing it because they're so focused on themselves reaching the millions, and they're working themselves so hard. And they're chasing after the money.
Yes.
Versus redirecting that focus.
Yep.
Making it about people, and then watching everything else fall into place.
That's it. That's it.
And I think that's where a lot of people are missing.
Yeah, they are. They're missing it because the grind and the hustle is not the will of God. And so you'll never hear me say I'm grinding and I'm hustling, because that's not the will of God. That team no sleep, not me. I'm going to bed.
That's right. That's right.
God said that he doesn't sleep nor slumber so that we can have sweet sleep.
That's right.
And so when you're in the hustle, in the grind, that's because you're operating in your own might. I surrender all. Everything.
Hey, Tasha, you're making me feel bad. You're making me feel bad because I say that sometimes. I'm crying.
You do want.
I'm trying to make it happen. I gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a learned behavior.
Yeah. It's kind of easy to fall into. So I get it. I understand. However, but I also understand what you're saying, because you're absolutely right. Why make it more difficult than what it has to be?
Right. It doesn't have to be hard at all. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's so funny because it's a learned behavior, because my mom, her work ethics is 1 million. And so I've always seen her work hard. And so I knew that I wouldn't work hard, I would work smart. And as a result of me working smart, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yes, you definitely got to put the work in. I'm not just saying miraculously stuff happens, but you got to put the work in. But it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be stressful, because my thing is, it's God's will, so it's his bill. And so I'm going to operate I'm going to listen to him and just follow his flow. I remember when he began to till the soil and tell me that he was transitioning me out. He said that you're going into uncharted territory, but I just need you to follow the wave. Just go with my flow. And that's what I do.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What about your friends and family?
As far as what?
Did they transition and flow with you?
Some did.
Oh, yeah?
That's a great question. Some did, some didn't. And that's okay. And so God has given me the gift of goodbye, literally. Like I can shift with no problem. So either you're going or you're not. And so I translate that into either elevate or exit. One or the other. The choice is yours.
So what do you tell your team?
Yeah.
The individuals that you're mentoring, who may say, well, I can't let this is my best friend. I've been with him or her for as long as I've known, but she's not supportive. So how does that person, come out of that?
Right. And so for me, I love relationships. Like I'll put my all into relationships. At the same time, it's not going to be at the detriment of me. And so if you don't see the shift and you can't support it, then I'm going to have to exit and be okay with it. Now, prayerfully, we can come back together later. If not, that's okay as well.
Wow. That's friendly relationships or family relationships?
That's both. They all fall in the same basket.
You tough. You tough. For real?
Yes.
But that's good. And unfortunate because I've read that, I've heard that. Our pastor says that, and it makes sense because if they're not adding value, if they're not adding things into your life in the direction in which you're going, what are they doing?
That's right.
They're
Exactly.
either tagging along or they're detracting from something from you.
Absolutely. Yep. You're either a blessing or a curse. You're either striving or surviving. One or the other. Right? And so there's no in between with me. You're either hot or cold. And so there are some, just to give some balance, that I feel like need a little pull. Like, they want to come along, they just don't know how. And so those I do allow to come along. And eventually they'll line up. But along the way, you should see some fruit. They should begin to bear fruit.
That's
yes.
right. That's right.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting. So what is this traveling boot camp that you had? Yeah.
And so traveling boot camp, oddly enough, it was something that I did not want to do. And simply because I only do it 3 times a year in the summer, and it's on Saturdays. And so I typically like to travel. When do you travel? Usually on weekends, right? And so when God began to drop it in my spirit to do the traveling boot camp, I was like, I don't know, that's a little taking away my own freedom, right?
Sure.
And so because I'm training all week, and at that time I was working when it first started, and he began to say, do it. And so it's my desire to please God in every area of my life.
Right.
And so I went in with it. And so the reason for the traveling boot camps was a few. One of which, it was for people that couldn't afford me to come personally train with me. And 2, for the people that just couldn't come during the week. And so when I began to do these traveling boot camps, people began to come by the droves. And here's the reason why it's a traveling boot camp, because I like to take people out of their normal environment, right? To begin to stimulate their mind beyond fitness. Because fitness is just a catalyst to get in. I'm after your mindset. Because once I can get your mind shaped, it's on. You can do anything. And so we travel to different locations. They never know what it is. They get an email the night before telling them where we're going Saturday morning. And so we may end up at the monument. We may end up at the exercise steps. I call it exercise. It's known as the Exorcist steps in Georgetown. Right. And so we may end up at the Navy Memorial, at the subway with the with the escalators coming down, and we're running up the opposite way. And so it's because I'm trying to stimulate your mind to get beyond the place of comfort, to get beyond the place of familiar. And so if you get beyond the place of comfort and familiar physically, mentally it's going to automatically line up. And so that's the reason for the traveling boot camps. And it has been a blessing, not only for them, but me as well, because it too gets me out of my environment. Again, when God tells you to do something for somebody else, it's a blessing on it for you as well. Yes.
That's just the law.
That's it. That's the law.
Just the law.
Yes.
Wow. So the traveling boot camps, that's a fitness-based boot camp where you are getting up at the wee hours of the morning, or
yes,
and roughly What kind of exercises or what type of things are you guys doing in your boot
So
camp?
we do a lot of HIIT workouts. So we do a lot of body weight. Yep, HIIT. So high interval intensity training.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
We do a lot of body weight. We do a lot of things that they could do on their own because I want to take the excuse away of you having to go to a gym. Right? And so we do a lot of things outside on their own. You're not paying any additional money to access it outside of paying me, but you can do it on your own. You can grab your family, again, the generations, and say, hey, come on. I may schedule them to do a bike ride, and they don't know until they show up. And so I have people that come in, haven't been on the bike in 20 years.
Sure.
But after they come to the boot camp that day, they're now on a bike, and then they're going home saying, hey, guys, let's go bike riding. And so those are the type of exercises that we're doing, again, not just physically, but mentally as well, because they're thinking about what transpired in boot camp days later.
Okay.
And figuring out how can they incorporate this themselves.
Wonderful. Wow. So now with exercise, there has to be a food element.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, that can be an entire show by itself. We're going to hold off on that piece until after the break. We're going to take a break in about 5 minutes. But so this traveling boot camp, how exactly did you know that exercise was? You said you didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Any reason why?
It just was a time thief for me personally.
A time thief.
Yep.
Explain that.
Because the weekends are my time. And so at that time, I had a competing affection because I was working a corporate job full time.
Second time you've said that. A competing affection. Something else that you love to do that was competing for that same time.
That's right. Period.
Okay.
That's it. And so I had that competing affection corporately. And then I also had my business that I was running full-time hours. So weekends was my time. That was the time I carved out. It was a priority for me to have my weekends. And so when God began to say, do a traveling boot camp on Saturdays, it's eating into my time.
Wow.
So that was the only reason why I didn't want to do it.
So at that point, though, where were you physically?
Yeah.
Were you healthy? Were you already working out? Were you already eating right? Or where were you physically when you felt that it was competing against?
Yeah. And so physically and nutritionally, I was at the top of my game. I had mastered that art of health and wellness. And so at that point, I was about 4 years into my journey of losing over 100 pounds in 2011. And so through that process, I learned how to eat. I learned how to deal with my mind. I learned how to address the triggers to heal from them instead of willing my way through them.
Okay, so now you said something that I believe that that our folks can take something from. You mentioned that you lost 100 pounds at one point?
Yes.
Was that the most that you've lost, or?
That was the most that I've lost, 103 pounds.
Okay, so
naturally.
So obviously then you were heavier.
Yes.
How did you do that? How did you lose 100 pounds?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was it all mental and you just said, I'm done with this, I'm tired, I'm struggling walking up and down stairs? What was it? What was that trigger?
Yeah, and so it was a combination of several things. But one of the most important things that always stands out to me is that I have two children, one of which that has special needs. And so he relies on me to do a lot for him. And I've realized at that point that if I didn't do anything about my health, right, that eventually I would check out of here early as a result of me not taking care of my health. And me checking out here early will leave him here as a burden on somebody else. And so I had a come to me moment and really said, how disrespectful would that be for you to leave him here as a burden on somebody else for something that you could change yourself? And so that was the trigger for me to say, I've got to do something. And what that something was, I didn't know because I didn't have any history of health and wellness. My family, nobody, and in fact, my entire family was overweight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? And so I had no history of it. But my mom had gastric bypass.
Okay.
And so we typically do what we see other influencers in our life do. And so I considered gastric bypass. And when I went to the orientation, it literally scared me straight. But I still didn't know what to do. So I went through the nutrition program to find out. And so in that process of me going through the nutrition program, I lost too much weight to qualify for the surgery, but I was still obese. I was 271 pounds.
Wow.
And so I became a student of the process of health and wellness. not just fitness, right? Because anybody can be strong, but where's your mind? And so I'm all about the wellness piece. Let's combine the two. Let's marry the two. Yeah.
Wow. And once again, I think that's where people miss it. That mental piece is so critical in everything that we do.
Everything.
Because without it, you're just, first and foremost, we have two minds. The conscious and the
Talk
unconscious
about it, Curtis.
mind.
Yes, that's good.
So when you're just living, you're not conscious.
Right.
You're just going off of what you know. You're comfortable, this, that, and the other. But when you tap into that conscious mind, that's where understanding is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Wow.
That's it. Two minds. I love that.
Interesting. Yes. So, we can go on for hours,
right?
Man. Listen, I can keep going. But at this moment, we're going to take a quick 3 to 4 minute break, and we will be right back to you. Thanks for tuning in to In the End We Win. I've got Miss Datosha or Tasha or Coach Mayo in the studio with us on tonight. I'm still looking for your phone calls. We're taking your calls live, 240-719-2560. I'm gonna get that number locked in soon. Please give us a call in, but we will be right back. Wow. Wonderful, Kim.
Oh, thanks, Daisha, for sharing.
Kim, you can call in 240-719-2560. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We've got the execution strategist in the house, Miss Datosha or Tasha Mayo. She has dropped a ton of nuggets for us to be able to use and just implement in our own lives, so that hopefully we can, start that business that we've been thinking about, or just acting on whatever it is that you believe God is having you to do. So this last segment, this last half hour, we are going to talk about something that is near and dear to me, which is health and food. That's only because I like food. However, you have a 30-day detox.
Yes.
What exactly is that?
Oh, gosh. The 30-day detox is absolutely amazing. And so a lot of times people look at it on the nutrition side, and it is, but it's more about discipline. Because you don't need another diet. You need discipline, right? And so the 30-day detox help you develop discipline. I say it like this. It disciples your discipline. And so it teaches you how to eat, because we do everything. We eat all of our emotions, whether we're happy, sad, mad, or glad. We're eating that, right? And so the detox teaches us how to eat, and not just so much what you're eating, but what's eating you.
However,
I think we've got a caller. Please turn your radio down. Hello, caller. This is Curtis.
What exactly is that?
You are on the line with Tasha Mayo, the execution strategist, and myself. Hello, are you still there, caller? Probably because they were listening to themselves, because I heard the radio.
Okay.
So please call back in. We'll be glad to take your call. Just do us a favor, turn your radio down, or whatever the device is that you're listening to. Turn it down, please, and listen strictly to your phone. You will be live when you call in, and the number is 240-719-2560. With that being said, in fact, Tasha, please give out your contact information, and then we'll do it again at the end of the show as well, so that anyone looking on, listening, can get in contact with you.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. So I can be found on the internet at bodybytasha.com. That's Tasha with an O, Tosha. I can also be located by telephone, 202-330-7788. You can follow me across all the social media platforms at Body by Tasha. Again, Tasha with an O.
Wonderful. Body by
Thank
Tasha.
you. Okay, I got you.
Body by Tasha.
Yes.
Across all platforms. Okay, so now the 30-day detox, it's not just about food.
Right.
It's about disciplining ourselves, disciplining our mindset.
Yes.
To take on a different strategy, if you will,
Yeah.
in eating.
Right. And then to properly align your mindset with going to next, right? Because again, when you're in a place of comfort, you do what? You eat comfort food.
Right.
And so in discipling your mindset is teaching you how to eat. Because right now, typically when you're in a place of good, you're eating what you've learned, what you've become comfortable with. And so in the program, we teach you how to stay out of the aisles and go to produce, because that's where you need to be. And so when people come in the door, they typically go to the left of the grocery store. And we teach you to go to the right and how to make that taste good. Because a lot of times people
he always goes to
the left. Yeah. Because a lot of people think clean eating is nasty, and it's not. You just have to be taught how to prepare it, what foods to pair with what. And so we're teaching you that in the program. At the same time, we are identifying the triggers that you're going through about the food. Because a lot of times people come in and they say, I don't like veggies. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. And my response to them is, are you allergic? If you're not allergic to the food, you need to try it. Yeah. Because again, that's a mindset. That's a learned behavior that you've developed over time, that you don't like the foods that are good for you, but you love the ones that'll kill you.
That's that BS.
That's right, exactly. That belief system.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's their old belief system.
Right.
And so we're helping training the brain even with food. But with training the brain with regards to food, it's transitioning into other areas of their lives.
Wow. So you've got it set up or broken down to 30 days.
Yes.
That you can transform their thought process in that 30 days.
Absolutely. Yes. And so a lot of times people will come in, or you have the people, I don't like to call people haters. I call them, they don't understand. And so when people don't understand, they attack what they don't understand. And so with that, they'll say, well, you can't detox 30 days. You can detox 30 days because you're not just detoxing food, you're detoxing your mind, body, and spirit. And so in that, we're just not drinking for 30 days. And this is what I say about that. If you're not going to drink for the rest of your life, I don't recommend that you just drink for 30 days. And when I say drink, I mean just drink breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a smoothie, in a blend, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not going to discipline yourself the rest of your life for 30 days, the rest of your life, don't do it for 30 days because it's about lifestyle. How can you sustain this lifestyle? And for me, it's been 7 years since I lost 100 pounds. And so it's no magic that I'm still at the top of it because why? It's consistency and discipline. Mm-hmm. And so I transition that into the program and teach people exactly what I do. Not did because it's consistent. I still do it.
Okay, so when I hear of 30-day detox, I'm thinking of, there are all of these programs out there, cleansers and all of these things to get those parasites out of your body, get, cleansing your colon and your kidneys and all that good stuff. But you're talking about something, completely different.
Completely different, right. I don't do supplements. I don't believe in them because I believe that you can get the nutrition that you need from the foods you eat. Mm-hmm. And so I teach you how to eat them, how to prepare them, how to pair them together. And as a result of you pairing your food properly, you're going to release the toxins. And so you don't need a supplement. First of all, what's in it? You don't know.
True. Exactly.
You don't know what's in it. It's sent out. It's sent to a factory, and you don't know what they're
bottling up.
That's exactly. Right. But because you heard somebody say that you can lose weight, you're now putting this into your system. And what is it doing to your organs?
Because everybody's system is not the same.
It's totally different. Exactly. And so what is it doing to your organs? So I don't believe in supplements. And I'm very intentional about vitamins, even a multivitamin.
Stop.
Who said?
Hold on. You said something. Intentional.
Yes.
Intentional. Mm-hmm. That's a strong word. And I don't mean to cut you off.
No. That's
good. But
that
is a strong word. Intentional means, once again, going back to those two minds that we talked about on the other half, on the first half of the show. Intentional mean that there then is a thought process that takes place.
Yes. Absolutely.
And you're teaching them how to be intentional even in their eating habits.
Yes.
Or eating lifestyle.
Eating habits, eating lifestyle, their own personal lifestyle. Because what I find is that people rise to the day instead of commanding it. And so you have to command your day. Before I get out of the bed, the day is rising to my expectations, not to what's just going to happen. And so I command my day before I go to bed. And so that's what I rise up to. And people don't. They're just on autopilot. And so I'm teaching them in the process. What you think is who you are. Just like what you eat is who you are.
That's right.
Not just physically, but what you eat. One of my questions that I ask my clients is, what veggie represents you? And so sometimes people will say spinach. Well, guess what? Spinach is a very relaxed veggie. It kind of goes with the flow. And typically people that like spinach, they're go with the flow people. Right? And so that's not the end all be all, but that's just a segue in. I'm a kale girl. And so I'm strong and kale is strong, right? And so that's typically
we got people in the studio saying, that's me. I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
Tomato. 'Cause I'm squishy.
Right, but so no, we're training the brain. And so even in that process, it started as a result of me helping my clients again, because they had reached a place of a plateau and I was at my max naturally. And so I went to God and added the super on the natural and said, God, I need to get these people over this plateau. And so it initially started out as a 1-week cleanse, if you will, and God began to download instructions every single day. Again, being very intentional, because I'm asking God, what is it that these individual clients need? And so at the end of the 30 days, he told me it's complete. And my response was, what's complete? Because again, I don't realize that I'm creating anything. And as a result of that, one of the clients shared it on Facebook. And then people began to respond to her share. And it just really developed on its own from there. And people's lives have been changed as a result. Yeah.
So here is something else that I'm hearing. You're referring to God. I'm hearing you refer to this spiritual component.
Yeah.
Do you have a spiritual component in the three areas that you help people with?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's mind, body, spirit across the board, the platform. When you come into my studio, you know that you are walking into the holies of holies. And so it's marketplace ministry. And so while there is secular music, it's the clean version, but we're meeting people where they are. People come through the doors of BBT Fitness Haven and their lives are changed. They're giving their lives to Christ. So they're coming to an environment where they think they're coming to build up their physical man. No, you're coming to build up your spirit man, because we're going to meet you right where you are. Not only are people's lives are increasing as a result of them giving their lives to Christ, they're rededicating their lives right there in the place of fitness. And so it's marketplace ministry, because people may never go into a church, but if you come into BBT Fitness Haven, we are the church. And so you're walking into that. So everything that's surrounded around the Datosha Mayo enterprise is Christ-centered. You know that when you enter into any of these realms, that God is in the building.
Amen. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dang.
Make no mistake about it. Yeah. Because it's his vision and it's my mission. And so God is going to meet you right where you are. He's that loving. And so if weight loss is what you need, I got something for you. But as you come into the weight loss, I'm going to enter in, and then we're going to get you to where you really need to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who for the most part makes up your classes, male to female?
So
what percentage is male to female?
Yeah, so right now we're about 95% female.
Wow.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why? Why?
That's a great question. And so we have guys come in, and I believe they
scared of you.
I don't like to say scared, but they typically do say I'm crazy, right? But I'm all about next dimension, because, again, if you can stretch your mindset physically, you can go anywhere mentally. And so I'm always teaching next, even in my fitness classes. And so I have a song, and it's called The Eye of the Tiger, but I labeled it as Unleash the Beast. And so it's max out. You only got 60 seconds, max out, because your place of max is just going to enter into your place of next. If you never go to your limits physically, you'll never know where they are. And so I'm always pushing to the next dimension.
Sure. That's a good segment. Good evening. You're on the line with Curtis of In the End We Win with Curtis. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. I have a question concerning terms dealing with food. I'm familiar with veggies. I just recently saw the word vegan, VEGAN, and I don't understand what that's about.
Well, vegan is where you have removed animal byproducts, anything out of your diet. So vegans do not eat any type of meat. Then you have levels of veganism where you're not even wearing leather coats, leather shoes. You're not wearing fur coats or anything like that. So there are levels to being a vegan. But vegan, as it relates to food, is anything that was birthed is out of your diet. So no cheese, no dairy products, no bacon, the chicken, all of that stuff is not vegan. So go ahead.
Is that healthy?
Sure. I would definitely say consult with your physician to let them know what your intentions are. It may not be something that you want to jump right into, but you want to gradually go into, because I'm actually on that course. But cutting out cutting out meats and things like that, absolutely.
Okay.
Beef sits in our system for a number of days, and it bloats us, it weighs us down. You can definitely cut that out, right? And you can supplement that with mushrooms. You can supplement that with other products that don't require all of that bloat and all of that good stuff. So, anything else?
No, you've answered it, but
Okay.
I don't know if I can follow that.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate that. We've got a few more minutes, so just keep listening to the show. Keep listening to the show, and you can perhaps call in on next week, and we can talk about it a little further.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, yeah, and that's an interesting question because, you know, it seems like now food and diets and things like that are becoming faddish.
Yes.
People are jumping into, oh, yeah, I'm vegan and I'm doing this, but.
Yeah. And see, What the Health had a huge.
What the Health? Oh,
What the Health?
Yeah,
the documentary, right? And so
I
I had a huge influence on people just jumping right into vegan.
Yes,
so you made an excellent point with consult with your physician because personally, when I started my journey, I began to eliminate meat out of my diet. And so as a result of me eliminating meat out of my diet, I became severely anemic. And so I didn't realize I was until I was on the treadmill running. Now, I can typically run 13 miles, no problem. Now, I was on the treadmill this particular day, and I couldn't get out 1 mile. And so I knew something was wrong. And I went to the doctor, and he said, if you were 1 point less, I will send you to get a transfusion right now.
So anemia is, or anemic is what?
When your iron is low.
Low iron.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. And so you can get it. While you can get it from plant-based diets, it takes a lot to get it. So you typically need a supplement when you're doing a plant-based diet. And so for me, it wasn't a great idea just to take those out, right?
That's
and so
right.
you definitely need to consult with a physician
That's right.
to make sure that, one, you are even built to go vegan.
That's correct.
Right? Your blood type, all of that stuff makes a difference.
That's right.
And so stop just jumping in with incomplete information.
That's
and so
right.
while I think What the Health was a good documentary, I believe that it was incomplete information.
Yeah. Did a lot of people a disservice because they didn't do the research afterwards.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So, dang. So the 30-day detox is not just about cleansing your physical system.
Yeah.
It's also about cleansing even bad habits such as perhaps drinking,
Yes.
alcohol,
Yes.
smoking.
Yes. Yes. The whole gamut. It's mind, body, spirit. Like, it meets you right where you are. There is no cookie cutter method in this program. And so even with your eating, what you like today and what I like today is completely different. So the program isn't structured that way. You have a list, a guideline to follow, and you choose the meals you want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as long as you stay within the guidelines of the program. Why? Because it's lifestyle.
That's right.
You're not going to come off the program and still eat the same thing every single day for the rest of your life. So we don't train you that way. We practice how we're going to play, right? And so when you're in the basketball arena, when you go to practice, you don't just wait till you get to the game to show up. You show up in practice.
Right.
And so that's how we develop this program. Practice how you're going to play when the 30 days is over. And that's why the results are so amazing. We don't count calories. We don't weigh food. We don't eliminate any of the food groups because we need them all. In addition, that's not lifestyle. I don't see anybody walking around with a weigher machine, right?
Right.
I don't see anybody counting calories all the time. They may do it here and there and they miss or hit, but we teach lifestyle.
Sure.
We teach you how to live a life of health and wellness. And so we don't do those things because that's not what you're going to do the rest of your life. We teach you how to read the nutrition facts. We teach you how to find the hidden ingredients that they initially say aren't in there. We teach you how to eat when you go to a restaurant because you're not going to not go to a restaurant the rest of your life. So you need to learn how to eat. You need to learn how to make the transition. And you mentioned drinking. I had a young lady that was in the program last month. And she loved happy hour, right? And so it was a challenge for her initially to do this program. But she went to the doctor and she got some not so good news from the doctor about cholesterol and diabetes and things like that. And so that scared her straight. And so while that scared her straight and it got her coming in, I always tell people, don't wait until you get a prescription. Get ahead of it. But she was able to come into the program and not drink, right? She was able to come in a program and lower her AC1 levels. She was able to come in a program and not have to take high blood pressure medicine.
Sure.
That's life-changing results, right? And so that's what we're all about, transforming from the inside out, winning from within. The outside is the fruit of your labor. That's going to happen.
Winning from within.
Winning from within. But what's going on the inside? What are your
awesome.
organs saying about you?
So motivation can come from anything, it sounds like, because earlier in the show you mentioned, we've got another caller. Good evening. You're on with Curtis. In the end, we win.
Hey, God, Dad.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. You got a question for me?
Not really a question, but I wanted to know if it was okay if I could try out one of Miss Tasha's her workout session.
Absolutely, you certainly can. When would you like to come?
I'll have to get your information and everything as far as like your contact number.
Yeah.
Because the way my schedule is, it's like I get certain days off. I don't really get I don't have like a set schedule.
Yep. And so you can go to bodybytasha.com. That's Tasha with an O. Click on the class tab, and then all of the classes are listed there. And then just remind me that you are Curtis' godson, and then just come on in. Give me a call. Let me know so I can make sure we have a spot for you, and just come on in. I love to work you out.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get her information.
Okay.
Okay, man. Appreciate the call.
All right, no problem.
All right, bye. So, motivation. What do you find are most of the individuals' motivations are when they come to your session? Is it as a result of a bad word that they heard from the doctor? Is it just obesity? Is it just what exactly is it?
So the majority of the people that come in is initially to lose weight. That's their initial reason to come in. I do have maybe a 25% that people come in and say, my doctor said if I don't lose weight, then I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to be on high blood pressure medicine. I'm borderline diabetes. But the largest percentage, if people just want to lose weight, they know that they need to make a change.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm still surprised, though, that 90 to 95% are women.
Yeah.
What is that about?
That's
Pride?
a great question.
Pride?
It could be pride. It's a great question. Yeah, it could be pride. We have guys that'll come through occasionally and work out well. I believe because I train next level that the women in my classes are very, very, very strong. And so we get it in. And so I think that when guys come in and they see that, they're a little intimidated because they're like, I got to sit down and catch my breath, and we're going.
And I can't let these women outdo me.
Right, exactly.
And that Bubba pass out. Wow.
That's exactly right, yeah.
So I hear you have a spin class as well.
I do.
That's mean.
It's mean. Yeah.
That thing hurts. Good evening. You're on the phone with Curtis. In the end, we win.
Hi, Curtis. This is Kim Garrett. Hopefully my computer doesn't interfere, but I wanted to ask Tasha, how does she stay motivated? I mean, because I've always been a person of fitness, but it's difficult for me to stay motivated.
That's a great question.
To continue with it.
Yeah. That's an awesome question, and thanks so much for asking it. So for me, the way that I stay motivated is that I just believe in consistency, right? And so I make a covenant with my word. And what I mean by a covenant, not just a commitment, I made a covenant with my word that this was about lifestyle, that I would do this the rest of my life. And so because I am a person of my word, that I don't jeopardize my word over anything, that keeps me motivated. And so there are times where I don't feel like it, but my word is precedent over how I feel. I'm not moved by what I feel, I'm moved by what I say. So that's how I stay motivated. Yes.
Now, how long? I know you stated that and I won't keep you all for long, but I know you stated that you lost like 100 pounds.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to lose all of that? And, well, I'll keep with that. How long did it take you?
So it took me 13 months to lose 103 pounds.
Wow. 13 months?
13 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I can't even lose 10 pounds in 10 months.
You can lose 10 pounds in 10 months. You need to do that 30-day detox. On average, people lose 11 to 33 pounds in 30 days. No shots, no shakes, no surgery. So you need to do that detox. Go to Body by Tasha.
Well, I wish you were closer. I see where you're located, and I know Jackie Williams.
But
I see her post.
But you don't have to be close because it's all virtual.
Oh,
it's all virtual.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we do everything online. So anybody, anywhere, any time zone can participate. Go to bodybytasha.com. On the homepage, you'll see the 30-day detox. If you Google Body by Tasha 30-day detox, you'll see a plethora of testimonies come up where people have lost over millions of pounds collectively as a result of this program in 30 days. I just had a couple come through this program last month. They did it they did it in November and January, and together they lost 93 pounds.
Wow.
It's not a game. It's not a game. It's serious.
I would love to do it. I'm going to go over the website.
Check us out.
I exercise every day.
It's amazing.
Can't seem to lose the weight. I don't know if I'm not eating right.
Because your body plateaus. Even with physical exercise, your body plateaus. And so you got to make the shift mentally, physically, and nutrition. And so this is the shift that you need.
All right, caller, we're coming to the end of the show. We appreciate the phone call. Let's do this. If you don't mind hanging up, I'll have Tasha to give out her contact information again, and then you can reach out to her directly.
Well, thank you, Tasha.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
So,
all right.
If you would, give out your contact information one more time.
Absolutely. So it's Body by Tasha, Tasha with an O, Tosha, and I can be reached across all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Body by Tasha. And again, Tasha with an O. And if you guys are looking for a shift, definitely try the 30-day detox. I'm not just saying a shift physically. You're going to get that, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to take you to the next dimension. We're beyond levels. We're going to the next dimension. So to take you to the next dimension, you need to detox.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful. That's awesome. So, guys, listen, we are unfortunately at the end of the show for tonight. I think that we deserve a round 2 with Miss Tasha.
Absolutely.
I will definitely get with her people. She's got people. I'll get with her people, and we'll try to set that up. Obviously, the spring and the summer is coming, so I'm sure your classes will more than likely get even more crowded.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
yeah.
I'd love to have you back on to the show. We can do this again, and we can hopefully get you guys set up. So. Once again, you have tuned in to In the End We Win with Curtis. My name is Curtis Austin. I appreciate you all, and we are winners. We just have to stay focused on the promise. We know what's going to happen in the process, right? Things are going to come at us, but we've got to figure out how to overcome them things, right? Because the word says that they're going to rise up against us, but by staying on target and on focus with the promise that God has for us, that we win in the end. We're all going to win. So appreciate you all. We will see you guys on next week, and we're going to have another dynamite show for you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Good night.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Thank you. That was